Hello, welcome back to the channel. You are watching the Voice of Mzansi, and if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our updates. Today's story takes us to Joburg CBD, where police and city officials carried out a major crackdown on hijacked buildings, and during the operation, multiple illegal migrants were arrested. Make sure you watch till the end so you can catch the sources and verify the details for yourself. This springtime operation, spearheaded by the acting mayor and supported by various city, police, home affairs, and power utility departments, targeted hijacked or illegally occupied buildings in and around the Johannesburg CBD. These dilapidated structures had become hubs for unsafe living, criminal activity, and illegal utility connections. During the raids, over 150 undocumented migrants were arrested alongside other suspects for crimes ranging from drug possession and assault to unlicensed firearm possession. These homes had become dangerous enclaves for people living amid unsafe electrical wiring, overcrowded spaces, and structural hazards. To understand the issue, let's start with what hijacked buildings are. These are abandoned or unoccupied properties that criminal networks or informal tenants take over without permission. Over time, they become overcrowded, unregulated compounds, often housing foreign migrants in search of cheap shelter. But these buildings are never safe. Many lack electricity, sanitation, or fire exits. Some have live wires and makeshift partitions that turn them into ticking time bombs. In 2023, a horrific fire in Marshalltown claimed 76 lives in such a structure, serving as a stark wake-up call about the dangers of hijacking and informal occupancy. Given the risk to public health and safety, the city's decision to intervene in CBD hijacked buildings was not just about law enforcement, it was about preventing more tragedies. The multi-agency forces moved into 9 key buildings in the CBD, arresting undocumented migrants and other suspects, seizing drugs, firearms, and shutting down illegal liquor outlets. These officials also worked to disconnect dangerous electrical connections in over 180 buildings, aiming to restore safety to the grid and the streets. This crackdown also reflects growing frustration with NGOs and courts, which officials say sometimes block evictions or force relocations based on humanitarian grounds. The acting mayor challenged those decisions, asking critics to step into the buildings and see the conditions firsthand before making legal judgments. But what does this mean for our city and for South Africans? First, it sends a message that hijacked buildings, and the criminality that often follows, won't be tolerated. Citizens and tenants in these areas had long complained about the insecurity, crime, and poor conditions they endured because of illegal occupations. On the other hand, arresting undocumented migrants raises sensitive questions about migration, enforcement, and compassion. These individuals often arrived seeking work or safer lives. While breaking the law cannot be condoned, enforcement needs to be paired with humane alternatives, such as access to legal processes, housing options, or relocation assistance, especially when vulnerable populations are involved. Community reactions have been mixed. Some residents welcome the raids, saying they've long lived in fear of crime in their neighborhoods. Others fear that undocumented migrants will be left homeless with nowhere to go, pushing the issue from unsafe buildings to streets or crowded shelters. Let's not forget the energy safety dimension. Illegal connections to city power are not just costly, they are deadly. Overloaded transformers can spark violence or blackouts that affect businesses and homes. The humanitarian response of shutting down dangerous connections stops short of violence but protects life and the power grid. In legal forums, experts remind us that the right approach involves coordinated action, law enforcement with home affairs support, housing departments providing safe relocations, and courts enabling humane evictions and property restoration. Without that balance, Crackdowns can seem effective short-term but risk escalating instability in other ways. For those watching, if you come across updates, such as how the detainees are processed, whether the buildings are cleared long-term, or what housing solutions follow, drop those in the comments and let's track this together. And because we all need a little breather after coverage this intense, I saw a funny line about this situation suggesting that in the CBD now we're staging urban spelunking tours, explore the depths of hijacked buildings at your own risk. Or someone joked, maybe next time the city should advertise building reopenings as official ghost tours, live electricity not guaranteed. But seriously, what we need is not ghost tours, but real reforms, humane, pragmatic, and sustainable reform. All images used are for illustration purposes only. Sources: Rising Sun local news coverage of the multi-agency raid arresting 181 suspects including 150 undocumented migrants in hijacked buildings. IWL reporting of the dangerous raid led by acting Mayor Kenny Kunene which arrested undocumented foreigners in dilapidated structures. EWN noting over 40 undocumented migrants arrested during CBD operations. Central News account of City Power's disconnection of over 180 illegally connected buildings.